John Crosby Gould has been a dedicated huntsman for over 20 years and is the trusted owner of the pack of hounds. He has been riding since he could walk and has represented Australia in the national polo team and reached a handicap in Australia and the USA of 6 goals. He has hunted on numerous occasions in England with the Beaufort, Cottesmore, Corn and the Cotswold hunts. Also in the USA at the Piedmont Hunt, Virginia, Orange County Hunt, Virginia, Green Spring Valley Hunt, Maryland, Midland Hunt, Georgia, and the Moreland Hunt, Alabama. Ellerslie Camperdown Hunt has been operating for 25 years, with John Gould as master and amateur huntsman.
Two years ago, an eminent professor in Australia, who I'd been involved with in exporting dairy products to the US, came to me with a product called Pharmapex yeast and asked if I would try it and feed it to my hounds. I have a pack of foxhounds that go out 3 days a week from May through till September and travel across about 150 miles, jumping about 60 fences a day, so roughly 50 to 60 miles a day for 3 days a week, which is enormous demands. So anyway, I turned around to the dear professor and said, look, I would rather trial that product on my little 6-year-old child than to give it to my hounds. That's how much I love my hounds. I'm not going to put them at risk. And secondly, I obviously won't be giving it to my child because I love him just as much. And with that, the dear professor popped it in his mouth and ate it. And I said, well, if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for my hounds. So I trialled it. I soon learnt what an amazing product Pharmapex yeast is and the benefits that it provides for our wonderful pack of hounds. Our pack of hounds are recognised as one of the top packs in the world, and they provide great sport and they have marvellous enthusiasm. And I'd like to quietly go through a number of the benefits that I've experienced on a practical basis firsthand, with no influence from any outside party at all, and I'm only too delighted to provide that information to you people because it's a benefit to all animals throughout the world. One of the remarkable things I first noticed in the hounds is that when we suffered injuries of any sort, we normally were on an immediate 4 to 5 day drug program of antibiotics, and we found that now we use no more than 10% of the drugs that we originally used, and 90% of the dogs overcame their injuries, and I'm talking some injuries quite massive where there'd been dogs fighting, and it was amazing the healing capacity of the good bugs that are created internally in the animals by Pharmapex yeast. Also externally, religiously every month prior to using Pharmapex yeast, we plunge dipped our hounds with a sheep dip to get rid of all skin disorder, eczema and any of the rubbing that happened habitually in our hounds. We have not plunge dipped a hound in 2 years since using this product, and the quality and skins of the animal and the health of the animals through their coats is just nothing short of magnificent. The whole back is completely open, Tony will tell you, and twice, so he did it twice to it, and it's completely healed, and it's only ever had yeast. We've never had an antibiotic, and look at it. It's remarkable, and that's what it's done. One of the more remarkable factors that really staggered me is that I'm one of the poor fellows, and unlike most masters who employ professional people to do all the dirty work, many occasions I go in and pick up the droppings and hose and clean out the kennels. And every morning you walk into the kennels and your eyes and ears smart and nose smart from the smell and the odour and the stench of the faeces that's been excreted overnight with 80 hounds in your kennels in the closed-in area. It staggered me to find when I walked in that there was literally zero smell in the kennels once they went onto yeast. Secondly, the droppings, the faeces, 90% hardened up. There were very few loose droppings. So what used to take half an hour to pick up droppings was taking only 5 to 6 minutes. But the amazing factor was that it eliminated literally all smell in the odour of all droppings in our kennels. I decided to not only, which I knew practically because I do the measuring out of feed to our hounds with a 1 kilo scoop, and we were using, prior to introducing Pharmapex yeast, between 85 and 90 scoops a day to our 40 couple of hounds. I went through the other day, audited figures of our invoices on a kilo basis to pre-farmer pick yeast 2 years ago and to current. We are using between 50 and 60 kilo scoops of yeast as against 80 to 90, which is in round figures, and the exact figure was 23% saving in conversion rate of feed. That is, that our hounds are running harder and faster than ever, but we're eating basically 20 to 30% less feed than what they're using prior to going on farmer pack yeast. A remarkable story in itself. Even more remarkable that in the winter months here the country gets very wet and we have these large grass dog runs, and at 8 o'clock each morning the hounds are led out to the kennels and after exercise placed the bitches to one pen and the dogs to the other, and they stay in there till 4 o'clock in the afternoon and then are kennelled and housed in the evening each night back in the kennels. At the end of winter the kennels were always totally black and denuded of all grass because of the urine, which as we all know, and sadly in our gardens, how the dogs wee on the ground and kill all the grass. I used to buy 100 kilos of ryegrass seed each year, late August, early September, and hand broadcast it in the 2 runs, and in turn let the hounds run around in the mud and spread and self-sow the grass, and 6 to 8 weeks later we'd have nice grass yards again. For 2 years now I have not bought a kilo of ryegrass, and you will see by the video there's a foot of white clover and ryegrass throughout the kennel. It's been absolutely amazing. And what we now understand, that farmer pick yeast eliminates all ammonia in the urine, neutralises the faeces, neutralises the balance of acids in the urine, and creates organic fertiliser. Right. White clover and ryegrass, look at here, just come across to here. Just follow me over, look at this here and look at this here. It's just magnificent, white clover and ryegrass. Normally it should be dead. I'd be throwing feed, it's everywhere, look, it's everywhere. It's magnificent. With the reputation that this pack and this hunt has in the remarkable country that it's able to hunt over, we've become known worldwide for the enormous stamina and speed and tenacity of the pack. Since using farmer pack yeast, we used to feed most of our hounds 2 times a day to maintain their body weight. We have consistently, other than the odd hound, which would be less than 5% in the kennels, now only feed our hounds once a day, and the benefits and the muscling of the hounds and the stamina shown by the hounds is nothing short of remarkable. So to summarise my experience with farmer pack yeast, it's the be-all and end-all in that it's a pleasure to walk into the kennels, there is no smell. It's marvellous to have beautiful grass yards aesthetically and also environmentally. It's amazing to see the happiness and the temperament and the contentedness of the pack. It's extraordinary to follow them out hunting and watch their stamina and ability to jump 60 odd fences without a blink. And overall, I have become a passionate fan and in fact am paranoid of ever running out of the product. So I congratulate Mr. Peck for doing a great service to the dog industry.